So hello, last time we have covered the cecum and small intestine, jejunum and ileum. Now we will cover the large intestine colon. Colon, basically part of large intestine. Then, so first it has three parts. Basically we know the ascending colon, not three, four. Ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, descending colon, and the last sigmoid colon. Then, so basically these are the four parts of the colon which are in large intestine, in which some are intraperitoneal and some are retroperitoneal. These two are retroperitoneal. Peritoneal. Then retroperitoneal. And these two are intraperitoneal. Intraperitoneal. Then so these are the four parts of the colon. Now first we cover the some features of this. So so now we want take a histological important change. Last time we have done this histological change. We know in whole GIT there are a sequence of layers: serosa, muscularis externa, interna, then some mucosa and mucosa. Muscularis externa में two layers होती हैं. What two layers? Outer longitudinal and inner circular. So there is a slight difference here. Is in whole large intestine. In large intestine, basically, not in colon, in cecum also, in large intestine. Stine. The outer longitudinal layer condensed outer longitudinal layer condensed into thick bands, and these bands are called tinea coli. You know, this is tinea coli. Tinea coli. What in number? There are three bands, three tinea coli. Then this is a slight difference in all these, and some other features of this histological change feature लिख देते हैं इसमें. Histological feature. Done. These are features. Another features is this first feature. Another features are we can write there are many osculations and circulations present in this large intestine. Circulation. Basically, we have drawn the curvature like this and colons circulation like these sacules. We have drawn intestine like this, large intestine. Done. So these are sacules. These these single segment. These are sacules and hostrations. Hostrations or so these are called hostration and sacules. Hmm. So basically, what is sacules and what are hostricles? Sacules is like this. This constriction is the sacule, and the hostration is complete. This segment, this complete segment is hostration. Then sacules are basically some tightening junction. Hmm. So basically, hostration and sacules. The sacules are these points in which these points here there is a constriction present. The sacules is constriction in in colons. These constrictions cases hostrations. One hostration is segment. This segment is let's say this is ostrum. This is ostrum. Ostration. Done. So we can write ostration. Here is the colon divided into segments. Segments. Small packs. Small packets like bags basically. Due and the reason of this hostration is sacule. Sacule is the main reason in due to which hostrations create. Then So basically, we can write the ostration produced due to circulation. Ostration produced due to circulation. Done. So these are another features. Then another point, another third feature is appendices epiploid. Appendices epiploid. Epiploid. What are these? Remember, in large intestine, there is much more fat present than the small intestine. So there are some small pouches of fats formed in the large intestine. These small pouches are called appendices epiploid. We can write. Then the due to the small pouches pouches form due to high amount of fat in large intestine. These are like this. Let's say this is the intestine circulations. Then so the fat present is like this. And there are some bags like this. These pouches are also formed of fat. These are pouches of fat like this, small pouches. So these are the appendices epiploid. These small fat pouches are called appendices epiploid. And another is there is a larger diameter than the small intestine. So we can compare from this. Hmm. A larger diameter compare to small intestine. Obviously, other large intestine has larger diameter intestine. Then next is it is valveless. Remember, in this there is no valve present. Here, large intestine is valveless. Is valveless. Then, but in intestine it has wall. Small intestine has walls. So these are some common features of the large intestine. Basically, some part is retroperitoneal, some part is intraperitoneal. Histological features: circulations, ostrations, appendix epiploid, larger diameter, valveless. Then these are the some features of the intestine. So now we are continuing the blood supply of the intestine. Basically, these are the features. Then colon. Now we continue to the blood supply of the colon. Supply of colon. So the arteries involved in the blood supply of the colon is one is superior mesenteric artery, another is inferior mesenteric artery. These two arteries are involved in blood supply. Basically, these are the parts of the arterial supply. These are part of arterial supply. And for venous supply, similar like superior mesenteric and inferior mesenteric vein, which basically part of the portal venous system. So we can write venous system also. Superior mesenteric vein and inferior mesenteric vein. Inferior mesenteric vein. These are part of portal system, portal venous system. Then these are the blood supply. Now first, how this blood is supply occur? So basically, we are drawing the supply. So first, we draw the colon. Let's say this is near. There's a cecum part, and here is appendix. There's the cecum part. Then after this, ascending colon, transverse colon, and the descending colon. Then sigmoidal colon. So this is the large intestine. Then आगे it continue to the rectum. So this is the part of the small intestine. This the rectum is different. Then so first we draw the arteries. Then remember there is a artery called superior mesenteric artery, which come like this behind the transverse colon. Remember it is artery the behind the transverse colon. So it is behind and give one artery called middle colic artery, which divided into left and right branches, left and right branch like this. Then it descend again. It gives a artery called right colic artery, which again divide into an upper and lower branch. Then this gives the jejunal and ileal arteries, which supply the small intestine parts. Then it continue. One branch is also give above inferior gastroduodenal artery. Inferior gastroduodenal artery, which divides into anterior and posterior inferior pancreatoduodenal artery, which anastomosis with the superior anterior and posterior pancreatoduodenal artery. Then inferior branch, basically inferior branch. This this is not this is inferior pancreatoduodenal artery, not gastroduodenal. This inferior pancreatoduodenal artery which divide into anterior and posterior and anastomosis with superior branches of the pancreatoduodenal artery. Then this is we can write this is inferior pancreatoduodenal artery, which divide into anterior and posterior. Then it goes above. So there are branches. One branch is this, second branch, third branches, fourth branches, and the last it continue as then it continue as a branch called ileocolic artery. Remember ileocolic artery? It has anterior ascending branch and it has ascending branch and descending branch. Descending branch has four parts: colic branch, ileal branches, cecal branches, and appendicular branches. So this is so it has one ascending branch which also anastomos with above it. Then one descending has four arteries. We have done this. These are four arteries. This is the right side, and the left side is supplied by another artery called inferior mesenteric artery. So inferior mesenteric artery also go downward behind this and these artery descend behind the transverse colon. It gives branch. One branch is this is middle colic, this is right colic, so this is left colic. It divided into and ascending and descending branches. Then now it has some sigmoidal arteries. These are the sigmoidal arteries. And now it continue as a superior rectal artery. So this is the supply of the transverse colon. Then We can write here name. So this is the supply. We can give name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are the arteries. One is middle colic artery. Next is right colic artery. These have branches, basically left side and right side. It has branches left and right, left and right. Done. Right colic artery has branches upper and lower, and lower. Basically ascending, descending, upper, lower, similar. This is similar. Done. Next is third is ileocolic. This is we have done. Next is fourth is left colic. Left colic has similar upper and lower branch. Fifth is sigmoidal arteries, which supply the sigmoid colon. Sigmoidal branches, 20 to 15 branches can be possible. 15 to 20. Next is sixth is superior rectal artery, which is continuation of inferior mesenteric. Superior rectal artery. This is continuation. Continuation of inferior mesenteric artery. Done. So now there are some anastomosis formed here. These anastomosis are very important because so we can write some important anastomosis. Remember, there are small arcuate branches also formed. These are supply how? These form some small arcuate branches like this, like in small intestine. Small intestine also has arcuate branches. So these have arcuate branches which supply the colons. And these arteries also anastomose with one another. So basically a complete loop form around the colon. Complete loop. These arteries anastomose with one another. Done. So this is a loop form. This whole loop is called marginal artery of Drummond. The loop the loop of arteries around colon called marginal artery of Drummond. Artery of Drummond. This is important. This whole loop. Now there are some other anastomosis present here. So anastomosis present. So there are anastomosis we can draw like this. We take another section. So some anastomosis, some important anastomosis, some anastomosis and another point. Anastomosis. Now only we draw the arterial supply. Basically right colic in all this. So this is the right colic. It anastomoses with middle colic. This middle colic again anastomoses with left colic. And here is sigmoidal arteries and then is continuous this. These have arcuate branches. This is called marginal artery of Drummond. Complete loop form. Basically looping. Loops, we can say all this. These are arcuate arteries. Now there is a loop formed between this marginal artery, this right branch and the left branch. This is right, this is left, right is upper and lower branch. Left is similar, upper, lower. Done. So these are the arteries. Now there are anastomosis. One important anastomosis formed between this and this arteries. The left branch of middle colic and the left colic. This anastomosis is called artery of Reulin. Then this is the artery of Reulin. One another anastomosis, which is a anastomosis between superior mesenteric artery and the celiac trunk, which is called, you can write, anastomosis between celiac trunk and superior mesenteric artery. This one anastomosis between superior mesenteric artery and celiac trunk. This is not actually artery, this is called arch. We can say arch. This arch of hmm. So this is arch of Bueller. This is called arch of Bueller. This is continuation. And another is anastomosis present between, this is not around the basically transverse colon, but it is also important. This second anastomosis, this first anastomosis, this is second, this is second, and another is third, which is called arch of Birkum. Present anastomose. It is basically anastomose around stomach. Anastomose around greater curvature of stomach, called arch of Burko. Done. So these are the three anastomos. Now come to the some important point which are more prone to blood loss, blood supply. Basically, these point where blood supply can be stopped. So there are 2 points. One is this point, we can mark this. One is this point, and another is this point. These are the 2 points where blood supply can be stopped. How? Basically, blood supply, blood occlusion. So these points are more prone to blood supply blood loss, blood occlusion. So there are two. So these points are basically, this is A point and this is B point. So here we write A is actually called Griffith point, which is actually basically, this is left side splenic flexure. Remember, one is hepatic flexure and other is splenic flexure in colon. The right side is hepatic flexure and the left side is splenic flexure. Then B B is called Sudok's point, which is actually sigmoidorectal junction. Sigmoidorectal junction. Done. So these are the 2 points. These are important points. Shape. But what are their important point? What about important? They have more chances of necrosis due to blocking of arteries, blockage of blood vessels. Done. So these are the 2 points. Chances blood necrosis. Then next is the next point about is clinical. So for clinical is the study of the colon. We can write study of the colon, which is called barium enema. Study of colon in radiology. By technique name is barium enema. Enema. This is important. In which we insert barium liquid through anal passage and observe the coils, basically coils or hostrations of the large intestine colon, in which we put around 2 liters of barium solution through, important point is through, anal passage to see the sacules, basically hostrations or sacules, hostrations of colon. Done. This is the clinical point. One important point is this about the blood supply is superior mesenteric artery role and the inferior mesenteric artery role. How much they supply, basically. The superior mesenteric supply duodenum except initial 2.5 centimeter, basically initial 2.5 centimeter को छोड़ के बाकी सारे duodenum except initial 2.5 centimeter. Then jejunum, whole jejunum, ileum, ascending colon, and two-third transverse colon. Right from right two-third transverse colon. Right two-third transverse colon. Transverse colon. So these part are supplied by the small superior mesenteric artery. Basically, midgut. This hole is called midgut. This is midgut. We can say midgut. And from the inferior mesenteric, we can write left after this, the remaining portion. left one third transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, then rectum, rectum, upper basically, rectum upper region, rectum and anus upper region, anal rectum and anal canal upper region, upper region, then and anal canal also slightly. बेसिकली रेक्टम के कॉन्टिन्यूशन से आगे एनल कैनाल बनते हैं, सो रेक्टम इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, बेसिकली वी कैन इंक्लूड रेक्टम एंड एनल कैनाल, so we don't write basically upper region here. Then rectum and anal canal upper region, anal canal के आगे लगाएंगे upper region. Then so this is the hindgut, this portion is called hindgut. This is called hindgut. Then so this is the supply. So basically, this is about colon. Whole. We draw all things. Colon, blood supply, colon, parts, their features, large intestine feature, blood supply, anastomosis. Some important points where blood supply can be blocked, chances, clinical, all things, and role of blood vessels. Now, remember the whole length of the large intestine is around 1.5 meter, which is not much important, but we write length of whole length of large intestine is around 1.5 meters. So this really you can write. Then so this is about the colon, whole colon and large intestine. Done. So next time we starting the kidney. Thank you.